करारविन्देन पदारविन्दं मुकारविन्दे विनिवेशयन्तं वटस्य पत्रस्य पूतेशयानम्.
Jai Gurudev. Let's begin with the prayer. Vasudeva Sutan Devam Kaunsacharunnamardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. We are at that point in the Bhagavad Gita now where Arjuna has clearly said that he will not fight. He doesn't want to fight. कितनी बार बोल दिया उसने, लेकिन I think he is seeing the reaction of or no reaction of Lord Krishna completely, and he feels that maybe he has to explain more that why he is not fighting and what is the reason why he is not fighting. So usually when you must have seen that when we are kind of, somebody is not agreeing to your desire, then what do you say? अरे मम्मी अगर ऐसे नहीं किया, ये लोग क्या बोलेंगे मेरे बारे में? अगर मुझे वो कपड़े नहीं लेके दिए, if you don't buy me those nice, what are my college people going to think about me? Or going forward, it goes like, if we don't have a house of our own, then what will people think that we don't even have a house? So you take support of other people to justify your ignorance many times. So many times in life you must have taken the support of unknown people, absolutely unknown people, to actually justify why you want to do this or why you don't want to do this. Now there are two ways to look at the next three shlokas. The one way can be that Arjuna had extremely high reverence for the women. Extremely high reverence, because being a Kshatriya by the caste system, he knows that he has to save his women and he has to fight for them. Now this is one way to look at it. The other way to look at it can also be taking the support of the women clan to actually tell Krishna that, listen, now this is justified. What I am going to tell you now is justified and I should not fight. You should also listen to me and believe and tell me I should not fight. So the shlok goes as shlok number 40. Kulakshaye pranashyanti kuladharma sanatanaha dharme nashte kulang kritsnam adharmo bhibavat yuta. You can clearly now, many of you have really upgraded your shloka chanting, and also you have upgraded your study, Like you can see Kulakshay, you know what Kulakshay is, right? The family, you know what the family, what is Prashyanti, the family will perish. Our age-old traditions which are there, the Kulakshay is actually also the, like, बहुत समय से Shaya, is like destruction. इसका शेयर करना ना, ऐसे बोलते हैं. एंड दिस एज ओल्ड ट्रेडिशंस विच आर बीइंग देयर, ये सब नष्ट हो जाएंगे. ये सब ही नष्ट हो जाएंगे अगर इफ आई एम गोइंग टू फाइट. ही इज कंटिन्यूइंग द रीजन एंड ही सेज दिस विल ऑल डिसअपियर. एंड दिस व्हाट ही इज सेइंग एक्चुअली इज राइट. इट इज नॉट रॉन्ग. if a full clan of people they get decimated in a war, or in our country I can say that the brain drain, like the maximum people in the 70s and the 80s just shifted to America, just shifted to other countries, and they took away the religion, they took away this, not the religion, I should say, they took away the spirituality from the religion with them. They took away कि जैसे चाय को छानते हैं ना, तो फिर नीचे ऊपर जो बच जाता है, you can say okay, that is the religion, you need that for making the chai, but you don't need that for drinking the chai. So now what is left down is the spirituality. Now what happened in this big brain drain that happened in our country, or the big war that happened in our country, the religion got left with almost a skeleton. So we had to hold on to the small corpuses which were there, and somewhere we actually lost this tradition. इसीलिए आज अगर आप किसी को भी पूछो how many people have read the Bible in a church, all hands go up. All hands go up. You ask how many people have read the Quran in the in the masjid, many hands will go up. Many hands will go up. But if you ask, I have taught lakhs of people in my life, and I have asked so many classes, how many of you know the Bhagavad Gita? And Bhagavad Gita usually is taught in many schools, like there is a Gita session in especially the schools, and it is one of the most boring session. Like I had a Gita session in my school, which I did not attend. Sorry to say the truth. But it was something which the teacher used to come, say something, was not able to establish the story. What I want is this, my dream, that, that everybody holds on to this tradition. Now, this is what he's saying is the truth, because if this happens in reality and everybody gets decimated in a war like what we have gone through, whether it was the Mughals, whether it's the British, whether it is all the people who were holding the, who were the lighthouses of tradition were decimated, or they were told, they were given such an attraction and a sweetener, they were told to go to Britain or to Europe or America, and many of them left that time. So he is actually saying the right thing, but remember he has said many right things, but from a different attitude. We also discussed that, he is saying that why should I fight? I don't want victory. I don't want, even this land which I don't want this. And this has been said by Lord Buddha that you are nothing. It has been said by everybody you are nothing. Now he has come to the he is saying that this is the caste. The whole caste system will fall if I am going to fight. And then he says, Adharma bhibhavar Krishna pradushyanti kulastriyah trishu dushtasu varshneya jayate varna sankarah. And here he gets the entire women clan of, because he is the protector of this region. He's like the main surgeon of this region. And he says that with this, Krishna, if this happens and all the men in this, somehow they don't stay, then what will happen is that, the family will become corrupt, because people who will be alive will mostly be what? They will be from a different caste. They are not fighters. They are not going to be people who, because all the fighters are standing there in front of him, and the women of this, they will be forced to marry those people. And then here he refers him as Varshneya. Here he refers Krishna as Varshneya. And you must have heard, no? Varshneya is also a surname. And surprisingly, till today, these are the best mediators on this planet. If you meet a Varshneya, I don't know if they know, but they are the best mediators. They will chit-chat with you. If you have a problem and you need madhyastha, you need mediation, I am telling you, they can help you immediately. They are one of the best. And Varshneya actually also means mediator. It means that, oh, mediator. Now he's saying, oh, descendant of Vrishni, but they are also mediators, one of the best. Now he's saying, what will happen to all these women who are, of this 4 million army, all the women are sitting at home. What will happen to these women? What will happen to the state of these women? They will be attacked by corrupt family. Now he is here actually giving a very straightforward representation that the dharma of the family is upheld by the women. So here he has given that indication that this, if it happens, the women folk will be told to become corrupt, and the dharma will be lost in this particular way. So he is, and here he has also talked about the caste system, by the way. So he is also saying the caste system will get completely demolished. So here then the next shloka comes. Shankaro narakayaiva kulajnanan kulasya cha patanti pitaro hesham lupta pindodaka kriyaha. And then he says, with all that will come confusion. With all this, what we are saying is, we will have confusion. There will be hell for these women. Promiscuity will happen. Many women will just have progeny and then destroyer of race, and they will be. And then he says that they will not know. Basically, this rice is akshat. So they will not know from where they started their, who is the forefathers. So he's in this, like for example, tarpan is done for the forefathers. So what do you say? It is from the starting point of my progeny, starting point of my tradition, that tarpan is performed. Na shraddh mein jo aap tarpan karte ho, it is giving peace to the starting point. Akshat is the starting point of the tradition. So he says that they will not know, and water is basically nothing but love. So he has this, that water is nothing but love. If you notice, water has to flow to remain fresh. It cannot stay in one bucket, or it cannot stay in one small katori. It has to keep flowing. If it doesn't flow, it gets rusted. Similarly, Gurudev, Shri Ravi Shankar ji says that only flowing water, Gurudev, I remember when he was 17 years old, he used to meet a Swamiji, in Rishikesh, and that Swamiji was called Goli Baba because he was a freedom fighter, and he in this freedom fight he had actually saved a lot of people in the army, and there were people he saved, and then suddenly while pulling the bodies he got enlightened. So he was called Goli Baba. So he used to say only one thing. He used to tell Guruji as Yogi Rajji. He used to say, I cannot tell you Ravi, because Guruji's name was Ravi Shankar. So he said, I cannot call you Ravi because one day you will realize who you are, but I will call you Yogi Rajji. So he used to say Yogi Rajji, and he used to tell in his satsang only one point, only one point, and everybody has to do manan on that point only. So that point was, he used to say कि किताब के पन्ने फेरे क्यों नहीं, पानी बहे क्यों नहीं, सत्संग चले क्यों नहीं. Bas, this is all he used to say in every satsang. In every satsang, he would say किताब के पन्ने, मतलब जीवन के पन्ने फेरते रहो, एक जगह मत अटको. He would say पानी बहे क्यों नहीं, पानी रुक जाएगा तो जल जाता है. तो he would say पानी बहे क्यों नहीं, like let the water flow, let your love flow to everyone, not just one person. If it stops there, then something happens, in that. And then he would say, satsang chale kyun nahi? Let the satsang keep going on. Let your discussions in life be about knowledge. And here you can see both ways. Arjuna's way of thinking now has come to, maybe I say, as supporting somebody and saying, I won't fight. What do you say? What do you say? His thinking has come on this, that my caste tradition, the caste tradition will fall. The entire caste system will fall. Then he says that the women of this, of my land will become promiscuous, will not have the freedom of being what they are. So I cannot fight. I cannot fight here. These are the 3 shlokas which we want to do today, and it is getting very, very, his discussions are becoming more and more confusing. He is like, you can imagine the mind, when it is ignorance now, it is ignorance, full ignorance. उसने सारे statements डाल दिए, जितना भी logic हो सकता है, सारा logic डाल दिया उसने to tell that, listen, I am not going to fight this war, come what may. And here he has completely forgotten his duty. You can see that he is now become an emotional husband or an emotional father or an emotional ruler. you cannot have an emotional ruler, you cannot have an emotional father, you cannot have an emotional, you know, in the state of war. War के पहले सब सही है, but war में you have to win, you have to leave everything and come and fight. So यहाँ पे ना बहुत ही I think बहुत ही गलत धारणा है. So this caste system na is not given by birth. Nowhere in the Hindu tradition it is written that caste system is by birth. Caste system is by profession of what you do. Like if you are a doctor, you have to save lives even if it is at 2 o'clock in the night. This is your dharma. You are understanding? This is the caste system that is always it comes from the profession of what you are born with. You're born with. So you're born in a family, but what you do post that is what is the caste system. And it is so misunderstood in this country, it is so misunderstood. I think none of us know. We should dig deeper and find out this. Like, for example, if you see this, if you see this Sut Maharishi, if you know the Sut Maharishi, he is the narrator of the Puranas. Sut Maharishi, it's Sut Maharishi. He is one of the rishis who actually gave the Puranas. He comes from a Dalit class. If you see Tirupati temple, the first puja in Tirupati temple, early morning is done by the Banjaras. The Banjara community does the first puja. It is a reverence that everybody can do. Valmiki, the one who wrote the Ramayana, is a Dalit. You can see that. Then if you see so many others, if you go to, like Shiva, Lord Shiva, yahan pe, we say he comes from a very backward class. You say that. It has nothing to do with, Shiva is not the body, but when you identify him, let's take Ambedkar. Like the word Ambedkar was coined by his tutor who gave him this name, and he was a Brahmin. He gave him this name Ambedkar for his intelligence that he was doing. So it was all post your birth. What are you doing? Are you into business? Are you ready to fight? Are you a Kshatriya? Do you enjoy the dharma system? Do you enjoy talking knowledge, giving knowledge, living knowledge? Do you enjoy that? Or do you want to only work with your hands and legs? Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar ji says very beautifully, in the body, just see, in the body, if the Brahmanas are the, if the Brahmins are the head, like the brain, then the Shudras are the legs and the hands of this system. If the Kshatriyas are the heart and the stomach in this heart, then the Vaishnavas are the stomach in the system. So he said it is a full body system. It is not outside the system. So here Arjuna is saying that, what will happen to the women clan. I feel a Kshatriya, if he is there, he will always bother about his whole kingdom. So somewhere I have a soft feeling for Arjuna in these 3 shlokas. I can be wrong. But here he is also bothered about them, that saying that I cannot see this destruction. But not because I cannot see this destruction, I don't want to fight. That's why I can't. This is wrong what I find in this system. And there are, if you go to a Shiva temple, now you see many ancient Shiva temples, especially Tamil Nadu. Even I want to visit some of them. There you will see that 63 sages are carved on the Shiva temple. When you see up, there will be 63 sages carved. Out of them, many come from the lower caste. Because it is not what you were born with. It is what you do with your life when you are born, is what defines your caste. And here, Shri Krishna is going to tell him, this is not what you are born for. You have to fight. This is why you have been born.
Akilam श्रीवत्साङ्गं मनोरस्कं वनमाला विराजितं शङ्खचक्रधरं देवं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्